attention to my tips and tricks.
That's a pyramid scheme.
No!
It's a conical tiered multi-flow through medical marketing entity.
Absolutely.
She's her own customer, Steve.
An essential oil party?
It's a scam. You give them money and they just take it.
All the red flags just look like flags.
It'll tip over.
We have guests. You were supposed to have cleaned up all these quality products.
She needs an oil vention.
Stupid cult. They label their financial records like dummies.
This isn't a scheme. It's a system.
Hello. First things first. Hello. We're live on YouTube, which we don't often do. Usually this conversation happens every Monday in Discord. Oh, no, I'm sorry. In Patreon. I get all my things mixed up. It's usually a Patreon only thing. But technically, they all are. They're just unlisted. Hey, good morning, Gina. Good morning, Aaron. It's so nice to see you guys. We are, like I said, live on YouTube this morning, not just Patreon, because we have something. Michelle has been working on something. I know you guys always ask about ways that you can get involved in activism and advocacy, even from the comfort of your own home. If you can't, make it to events or make content or whatever, that you can still get involved. And this is a really great way. I know a couple years ago, we did that comment push for the proposed rulemaking for the business opportunity rule, adding MLMs and gig work into that. And that's something that we've been sort of working on in the back end for the last few years. It is when the FTC were like, it's going to take many years. We were like, or it wasn't even the FTC, like the group was like, it's going to take many years. And we were like, yeah, totally. And they were like, so it's taken so many years. But we're here on the grassroots inside. Michelle has created an incredible comment crafter because the rule is up again and we need to reach out to, things are moving and we need to reach out to our elected officials locally. And so Michelle has created an incredible comment crafter, just like she did for that first AMPR to help you craft, except it's way cooler because we're integrating AI into this now. For good. I always joke there's AI for evil and AI for good. So this is AI for good. And we are going to be just this really incredible thing Michelle has been working on. And I thought, hey, let's do this on Monday. Let's talk about this. Let's go live everywhere so everybody can get this information, use this email and phone script crafter, and do some grassroots advocacy and activism work. So Michelle,
that's what we love.
Tell us what's going on. You are working on this, and so you know a lot more information than I do. Yep. Fill us in with what's going on.
All right, one sec. Let me get this tab in the right place where I can read it. Here's the update. Some of you may recall that last year, the House Appropriations Subcommittee that governs the FTC's budget proposed funding cutbacks and policy riders that specifically prohibited the FTC from finalizing the BizOp rule and the earnings claim rule. So you'll remember that the earnings claim rule is the one that we commented on in 2022. That was our first big MLMchange.org campaign that we used the comment crafter tool on and everything. That other one, the BizOp rule, is the one that already exists, and they're looking at making revisions to it. And they started looking at that about a year ago. So there's two on the table, and both of them relate heavily to like how the FTC, handles MLMs and regulates MLMs. So they're really, really important to actually for the FTC to actually have the budget to work on those, because if it's not signed off on in their budget that they are given by Congress, their hands are tied. They can't allocate labor hours to investigating things, relevant to it and things like that. So while that bill did not pass last year, the same language is back this year and is likely to be considered by the full House of Representatives during the week of July 21st. So that's next week.
Yep.
So she gave me a couple of links, a link to the bill summary, which is in the actual tool itself. So I think in the description, you put a link to the tool itself. So if you also want to put a banner up, that might be good. Because it's just outofmlm.info/take-action.
Okay. Let me make one real quick.
Okay. So I'll read just the actual language that addresses this because it's super short. It's a huge bill. It covers all of the appropriations for the entire government. And there are a ton of policy writers that people throughout the government tack onto this, assuming that, you know, the budget's just going to be passed as is, right? And there are certain restrictions that they are trying to embed into the language that is eventually passed for the 2025 budget. So the language is on page 97 of the actual bill, very hidden, and it just says, SEC 531, none of the funds made available by this act, meaning the budget for the whole year, may be used to finalize or enforce the trade regulation on the use of earnings claims or review of business opportunity rulemakings without a clear statement of need, or unless overlapping rulemaking and improvements in self-regulation and customer protection of industries that would be impacted is considered. Which is just kind of a word salad way of saying you can't spend any of your budget on anything having to do with either of those rulemakings that you're trying to work on. And we do know that this is actually a priority for this FTC. They want to be able to work on these things. But here it would be the Congress that would be tying their hands. So the House will be first to vote on this bill. And I wanted to make an easier, a more user-friendly way of people to actually reach out to their representatives in the House. And you can go ahead and share. I'm going to take a drink real quick. I'm parched.
Okay. I'm going to have this scroll across the bottom. So
Perfect.
On the bottom is the website that you can go to do this.
Woohoo!
This is Michelle's really cool comment. Well, it's not a comment crafter. It's an email crafter and also a phone script crafter if you're the kind of person that likes to pick up a phone and make a phone call. So we need people like that. I'm not one of those people. I will write an email, but I'm not going to be making phone calls. But if you are a phone call person, there's also a phone script in here. So Michelle, please, one, tell us how this works. And then two, I want you to explain how you've integrated AI so that we don't have this like copy paste email campaign, and so that everybody's email can be uniquely different and distinct depending on their own experiences.
Yeah, thank you. So the summary here just kind of goes over what we already talked about. And then the consumer advocate tool is what I've decided to coin it, I guess. All you have to do is the required fields are just your name and your zip code. If you left everything blank, you would still get a draft letter and phone script, and it would find your representatives for you. It just wouldn't be as personalized. So what you can do while you're filling this out is you can add these. I'll fill it out as we go. So I don't mind you guys knowing my zip code. It is public record.
You live in Kansas City?
I know, right? Okay, so occupation. Let's say
Can you like a triple okay. Like, don't confuse the AI with triple emerald princess of robots.
I mean, it might be kind of funny to see how it tries to integrate that, but we can do that after when we're just playing around. Okay, so in your own words, why do you oppose this bill? This would be your opportunity to just add basically any other relevant context that you would like the tool to factor into your script. Hey, Denise. Love you, girl. I'm losing my...
So is this little text box here, is this where the AI is going to come in and sort of make it all? Okay.
Everything that you fill out here, just actually everything from here on, it just gets added to the prompt that is sent to the AI's API, which will only bring back information that is relevant to like crafting this message. So it's a little bit hard to explain, but you'll see it in action. It'll make more sense.
Yeah.
It's not it's not the same as like having a form letter, which is how the DSA, the MLM lobby was able to, basically get MLMs exempt from the BizOp rule in the first place, way back in the day, like between 2006 and 2011, I think, was when they were first crafting the BizOp rule, which, yeah, these things take a long time. And now we're reviewing and revising it. Like, we're still working on this. It's been almost 20 years. and that's just it's just what we do now. So
It's just part of it.
Part of it.
Great. Ready or not, here we dance.
Ay, papi.
Happy Halloween.
No, skeletons are part of it. So
okay, so I'm just gonna put in just a little context. I think it's disgusting how much influence the MLM lobby has in our government. They benefit no one. I think that's just like how I feel. So I also have, even if you wanted to leave that blank and just give a little context about where you're coming from, why you're wanting to reach out, because then it might feel like it's more written in your voice and actually sharing your concerns. You can check mark as many or as few or none of these as you want. So I have personally lost money due to deceptive income claims or fraudulent business practices. Yes, I think I can check all of these actually. But
someone I know has been misled. I have experience working with the MLM industry. I believe that stricter regulations would be, beneficial. Consumer advocate. I've encountered challenges and negative experiences. Absolutely, yeah. Witnessed firsthand financial abuse. Absolutely, yeah.
So those are just like some ideas, but if you have better ones, this would be a really good place to like write them in. The little blank. And I guess I could add like a little note here if you, and you guys give me feedback in the chat, because I just built this yesterday and no one's really like tested it yet except for Roberta. So if there's anything that could be more clear or easier to use or better accessibility wise, Heather, are you out there? Check me on my accessibility. Please let me know, because I can I'll tweak this as much as I want, or as much as you guys want me to. So let's just enter it like this. But okay, so the API disclosure here at the bottom is just letting you know that I don't store any of this information. So you could put a fake name, you could put your real name. I'm never going to see it, even though this is hosted on my website. I'm not storing any of the information in the code or anything like that. But the information that you do provide in the form is going to be sent to both Google's API and OpenAI's APIs for specific reasons. I will send your zip code to Google's Civic Information API to bring back your elected officials. That's the only reason I ask for a zip code, is so that I can provide a list for you of who you can reach out to and their websites if they have one. And then the other answers are all sent to OpenAI's API. If anyone wants to really like geek out, we can look at the code later. But it sends all of these in a prompt, kind of like if you were to just like, write a really, really specific prompt and give it to ChatGPT. But it uses a completions API, which is like developer speak, and I don't want to bore anyone to death. It's like, it's different, but it's not. So anyway, it's only going to use this information that we're sending it, and then it's going to use the other context that I've given it already in the code to craft it in a specific way. So yeah, I hope that's a good enough explanation, because
yeah, that makes sense.
Better. All right, so ready?
Yeah.
Also, I meant to put a little note on here, and let me know if you think it would be helpful, but once you hit generate letter, It does take a bit. Like, it takes usually about 10 seconds for anything to happen. So I was thinking maybe I wanted to, add a little note saying, don't refresh, it's loading or something.
Okay.
All right, so once it does, you will be able to scroll down in the box. So our instructions for the draft email are just like pretty basic. It's basically to let you know that filling this out and looking at it doesn't actually send it anywhere. Like,
Right.
if
You
do
got to
this,
copy paste.
that's great. You still need to email it or call your
Right.
rep. Like, this is just a helper. On your way. So here are some tips for, like, if you plan on sending it to multiple different people, it will disappear if you refresh the browser. So you might want to copy and paste it into Google Docs and edit where you want. Customize it, personalize it to you. There are some little quirks that I've noticed in the scripts that are generated. They generally keep saying, I live in zip code 66202, and I'm like, I don't really need that, but I haven't been able to, make it not do that, so whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe
So
some
basically, copy, paste, put it in a Google Doc or whatever so that you can go in and edit. You can say, I live in San Diego instead of your zip code, or I live in I'm one of your constituents, whatever, to just sort of personalize it slightly. 99% of the email is done for you. You just have to proofread it really easy, go through, change anything that sounds kind of weird, add the emails to the people that is also provided by giving your zip code, which is why it's important to give your zip code. That way it takes out the extra step of you trying to figure out who your representative is and how to contact them. That's also going to be on the page as well. So copy, paste, email.
Exactly. Oh, and another note is, if you don't like how it came out, every single one is different. So even if you answer exactly the same, generate another letter and see if you like it better.
Okay.
It may be pretty similar, since
AI
the
for
prompt
good.
is going to be exactly the same, but it won't be word for word. Yes, AI for good. All right, so let's see what it came up with. The subject will be urgent call to protect consumers from deceptive MLM practices. I like it already.
Yeah.
Dear Representative, my name is Michelle Carpenter, and I'm a resident of zip code 66202. As a YouTuber who has, it integrated that a little bit. As a YouTuber who has personally encountered the harmful side, it's the first time I put small business owner as my thing, and it really made a lot more sense.
And what did I put when I tested it?
Princess, I think.
I wanted to see how it would come out if I wrote princess.
And it gave you your due.
It did. It did.
Yes, Princess Roberta.
My iPhone literally calls me Your Majesty, and he's a British butler voice. So it's just this whole funny thing. Anyway, continue.
Oh my God.
As a YouTuber.
Yes, as a YouTuber who has personally encountered the harmful effects of deceptive income claims and fraudulent business practices, I'm writing to express my strong opposition to the Financial Services and General Government Appropriations Act 2025. Throughout my journey as a content creator, I have experienced firsthand the devastating impact, blah, 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 blah. It like literally, it put all those words in there, right? It said, as a content creator, just because I told them I was a YouTuber, right?
Right.
So that's not going to happen without the AI API in there, okay?
Right. Right.
Moreover,
and this is another great thing. Like if you don't want it to say that, then that's the great part of copy paste and going, oh, I don't like how it, like, no, I want to say something else, and being able to edit it where, like I'm saying, like 99% of this letter is done for you.
Exactly.
Unlike MLMs that claim they're done for you. This is literally done for you.
As a consumer advocate, I am deeply involved in efforts to protect individuals. Like, I don't even have to rewrite this, So that's nice. It is imperative for the
this is
Federal
incredible,
Trade
Michelle.
Commission to finalize. Thank you.
Now you guys know why she's the triple emerald princess of
This
robots
is-
and not just a double emerald. Okay.
One thing that that Roberta pointed out is that the more check marks that the more statements that you check mark, the longer the letter seems to be. So, you might, if you have the time and the spoons, you might just, it doesn't even matter like how well you word it. But if you just want to write your own notes in there, it'll be super personalized. Just put it in the text box and ignore the check marks if you want. All right, so let's go down to the phone script. So again, I just recommend, oh, thanks, Gina.
Right? Okay. First, like, just 1 second. Like, Michelle's incredible. Literally, she made this yesterday. Like, she made this whole thing yesterday.
I did. I
This is
started
incredible.
yesterday morning.
Yeah. So, Michelle, you might rank up to Ruby. You might be a Ruby Princess of Robots pretty soon.
A girl boss.
Oh
Single
my
Ruby, though.
God.
You got to earn that double and triple.
Oh, yes. Makes sense. That is so funny. Ruby is the next one up from Emerald and Beachbody.
I know too much about MLM.
Oh my God. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So,
Triple Diamond is
again,
the last one.
I do recommend, again, copying and pasting this message and making any changes that you want to. But basically, it's going to give you something that you can, if you can't think of anything else to say, like, here's the thing. I can make phone calls if I know exactly what I'm going to be saying. I have to read a script if I'm going to be making a phone call. So this is going to enable me to actually make the call at all, even if I change a whole lot in there and everything. So basically what the phone script does is on the back end, it feeds this letter back into the OpenAI API. And it uses AI again to rewrite it as a phone script. And then it spits that out here.
Wow. I know, because I didn't see, like, I scrolled down and I saw it and I scrolled up and it said, Michelle, it says I'm calling. And you were like, oh no, that's the phone script. And I was like,
Scroll up.
There's a phone script? Like,
Thank you, Michelle.
Scroll up.
it was also late at night and I was like in bed and she's like, can you please just test this right now? I was like, princess. Okay.
Hi, Jealousy.
Hello. Okay, this is incredible. So once it gives you the letter to copy and paste, it gives you a phone script. Again, copy, because this is all completely randomly and regenerated every time you hit refresh. So if you like the script, you'll lose it. Save it, edit it in a secondary app. And then the last thing that it gives you, because you put in your zip code, your elected officials for not only the House of Representatives, but the Senate as well. So all of your Congress folks. That's incredible.
Thank you, Michelle.
That's incredible. You're so amazing. You're so good. So, let me go back to this one. Like you said, they're voting on this next week. So we need to get everybody to use the link, which is scrolling below. It is also in the description of this video. You can click that as well. That's the form letter if you have difficulty, if you just need help with wording, if you don't even know where to start. Again, if you're somebody who wants to sit and make phone calls, we did a survey last year where we asked people, and like, people are down to make phone calls. There are people that are out there that are like, I'll make phone calls and do emails all day. I'm not going to make content. Don't want to come on the show. Not interested in showing my face, but I'll make phone calls and content all day, like on the back end. So if you're one of those people, make phone calls. There's all of the information for your representatives. And yeah, absolutely. This is so, so, so incredible. I am so proud to know you because you're just so smart.
Thanks, Kate.
But you guys got to do it like this week. It's just like, do it now. This is a call to action for right now.
Like, they're voting on it next week in the House. It's most important that you reach out. It says this on the form, but it's most important that you reach out to your representative in the House, because they are the ones voting on this next week. So
right. Okay. House is voting. So if you're only going to send one email, send it to the House. It's on the 21st. So we only have a couple days. It's what is today? The 15th?
The 15th. Yeah.
Already. We're halfway through the month already.
I know.
Yeah. So, okay. What is this other thing that you just shared here?
Oh, I don't know. I was just
Oh,
hadn't stopped
just
sharing.
the website, the Out of MLM
it's just-
website.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys ever just head to Out of MLM, which is a website that Michelle created, just has a lot of information about the anti-MLM movement, sort of the grassroots stuff that we do, and how to get involved, and just information. Is it an MLM? All kinds of stuff like that. Really good info. And if you are looking at that website and going, man, I really wish they had a blank, 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 XYZ, whatever, let Michelle know. When she's in a hyperfixation mode, she'll make it for you.
Exactly.
Add it to the list. Yeah. So this
Hey,
is
as long if you don't give me a deadline, it'll get done.
right. Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic. I think this tool is really great. I also want to commend you because the tool that you helped create for the comment crafter, the FTC, when we were in DC, they actually went above and beyond, and consumer protection agencies as well, to say thank you so much for how easy and accessible you made this to people. When you make activism and advocacy accessible, where people only have to do a little bit, because we've got so much stuff going on in our lives, right? We've got stress over bills and worries and our own personal shit, and you have only so many spoons. So if you take away 95% of the work and just say, look, all you got to do is type in your name and your zip code, and I'll do the rest. It makes it really, really accessible.
One thing that I spoke on in my address to the MLM conference while we were in DC, a lot of my focus was on identifying the barriers, because we had done that survey, it all circles back. We had done that survey and found that a lot of people really, do care and want to be active. How do we activate them? And so that's what my entire presentation was about, was how we can activate. And I think the biggest way we can do that is there's no lack of motivation. I think the biggest way we can do that is by reducing the barriers that are there. And I think one of those barriers is just literally not knowing what to say.
Right. Yeah. Not knowing what to say and not knowing where to go.
I have an opinion. I can put my opinion in really, really stupid words. Put those stupid words in the text box and let us help you.
Yeah. I mean, I see people voice their opinion constantly on social media. So if you have the time to craft a scathing response comment to somebody, well deserved. But if you have the time to craft that, you have the time to type in your name and your zip code and be like, I hate MLMs. They ruined my life. Like, that's more than enough for AI to be like, all right, here we go. Like, if you don't use AI on the regular, you might be underestimating just how a few choice words and adjectives can really influence how that API churns something out and sends it back to you.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
a good point.
I really like AI. It's fun. I've been playing with it a lot and seeing how I can utilize it for this, but mostly I just utilize it for fun. So lots of Amway episodes coming up, and Chris Shelton's episode is coming up. Yep, Kayla just got me back. Isn't it like 3 hours long or something ridiculous? We talked to him forever. Yeah, I know. I got a big bill.
We are
I was like, ugh! We had a big bill. It's fine. It's part of it. Part of it. That's how it is. That's how it is when you run a show. But yeah, Chris Shelton's episode is really great. We talk about the MLM conference, and we talk about all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a really good time. Hello, Christina. It's nice to see you. So yeah, I mean, I think we're chugging along great. I love the comment crafter that you created, and
I'm really looking forward to adapting this framework for other uses, because if all goes well in Congress, in appropriation land, these two rules are coming down the pipe fast. Yeah. So we're gonna be needing actual comments again to the FTC register. And I think that we can just revamp the comment crafter tool and combine it with this.
Absolutely.
Really cool.
Just comment crafter 2.0.
Yeah.
Integrate it. See, that was the funny thing, was this was sort of Michelle's idea for a long time, because Michelle works in IT and understands how AI works from a fundamental understanding, and not from like a fear or like, oh, I don't know, right? And so she brought this up and was like, hey, we want to do this. And there was a lot of pushback that was like, oh no, we can't use AI. And she was like, I'll just make it and then you'll see. And here we have it, and it's beautiful. So I always had faith in you. I see your vision. I speak Michelle. I was like, that'll be really cool when it works. Like, yes, I speak Michelle. I totally get it. Yeah, no, it's great. I'm very excited to be doing this kind of stuff. It's really fun. The show is going great. I don't know what else. We usually don't ever go like live on YouTube. So there's like people in here who are probably like, who are these people? But
it is
again, if you like these Monday morning chit chats, that's what the MMCC stands for. It's a Patreon thing that we do every Monday. Michelle sometimes is there, sometimes she's not. Sometimes we have guests. Julie shows up sometimes if there's fun stuff to talk shit about, and we have a good time. I don't have anything else to say. I don't think. I think I checked off all the check marks. I think we finished early. I think we can all.
We did great.
We can all go to lunch early.
You just sit and do nothing.
I'm going to dismiss the class 15 minutes early and say thank you for coming on, for checking this out. Go to Out of MLM at the top. It just says take action, or you can do the / take action. But you can go there to find the comment crafter, the email crafter, the phone script crafter that Michelle made. Reach out to your Congress people. The House is voting next week. So let's get those emails into the House. At least you can, send that to anybody you would like. And yeah, this is what activism looks like. It's kind of boring sometimes, but I really like your crafter, and I think this is really cool. And we had a great turnout last time. I know we only have a week, but I think those of you that are interested in wanting to do some activist stuff, this is unfortunately what it looks like. I wish it was cooler. I'm an activist.
I had
sign
fun.
here. Like write your email your congressman.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Thank
guys.
you so much for stopping in. To everybody that stopped in, make sure you
Maybe
check
by
out
the
the
time-
show.
Maybe by the time we're doing public comments again, I'll have gamified it more.
Yeah, people get like little points. Like in Instagram chat, they've gamified emojis. Have you seen that? I don't know if it's everybody, but like I have an iPhone. If somebody sends you an emoji, just a blank emoji, and you click the emoji, you get like a little game of Pong, and the emoji's like ding, 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 and you like get to play with the emoji as it ping pongs around your screen.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes it's annoying because I'm just trying to like it, and it like sends me to the game. I'm like, ah.
Now I have to play this whole game because of my ADHD.
Gamifies your Instagram chats.
Not sponsored. We're not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
By Instagram.
Not sponsored. Oh, well, it was lovely seeing you guys. Have a wonderful Monday. Have a good rest of your week. We've got more Amway content coming up on the show, the podcast. Keep cool. I don't think there's any heat waves coming, but last week was a bitch. Keep cool if you've got a pool, a lake, a river, a stream, a beach, a hose.
Oh, we're in a heat wave right now.
Ooh, yeah, not cute. I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. And have a great week, like I said. All right.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.